welcome everyone to what I think is one of the best events in Parliament House at this time of the year, the annual lighting of the Christmas tree. My name is Jarla Hinchcliffe. I'm the Secretary of the Department of Parliamentary Services, and it's my very great honour to be able to MC these proceedings this morning. To begin with, I would like to acknowledge the country on which we're meeting here today. I acknowledge that this is the meeting place of the Ngunnawal and the Ngambri peoples for thousands of years. And I would like to acknowledge any First Nations people that we have present with us today and elders past, present and emerging. Please join with me in thanking yet again the ACT Young Voices and Chorale for such a lovely rendition of Starry Winter Nights. They were just beautiful, and we're going to be hearing a little bit more from them later on today. So welcome to the beginning of Christmas at Parliament. To begin with, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the President of the Senate, Senator the Honourable Sue Lyons, to speak to us. President.
Thanks very much, Jarla. And not only did you have that piano accompanying you singing, but you also had the bells from the House of Representatives. And how we know it's a House of Representatives is because they are green. And Mr. Speaker is just checking what's going on in case he has to rush off. And if the red bells come up, I am not paired out this morning, so if the red bells come up, I too will have to go. So I hope they don't, but you just never know. This is a parliament and things are always happening. So I too acknowledge that we're meeting on the lands of the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you for that beautiful opening song, those that you sang this morning, and as the DPS Secretary has just indicated, you're going to sing to us again. And great to see parents and grandparents and carers here this morning. I'm sure they're bursting with pride seeing you here in the foyer of Parliament House singing. So thank you very much, and great work to you. I used to be a teacher, so I know how much work goes into practising, and I'm sure you've been practising at school and at home, and to really deliver your best this morning. So it's great to have you here. So this is a time of year we really look forward to. It's come a bit early for us here because this is our last sitting week before Christmas. So at the end of the week we'll all go home and do Christmas things all over again, but it is nice to be here. But a lot has happened, and we know that not only will we had you this morning, but we'll have 25 schools across the ACT participating. And I think one of the things the Speaker and I are very keen to do is to open the Parliament and really to make it the people's place. And I think that's really demonstrated at this time of the year when we have our Christmas tree and we have choirs coming in to entertain us in the lead up to Christmas. So thank you very much. And also we've got our giving tree and the charities that we support. So we're asking you to give strongly to those charities. And our Capitol Hill Early Childhood Centre makes handmade wrapping paper, gift tags and cards. And I certainly went down there last year and got some of the gifts that I was giving to people wrapped by them. And they, you know, they might be under fives, but they take it very seriously. So I was not allowed to help them wrap the presents, but they did a very good job. So the charity that I'm supporting this year is Country Needs People. And actually I've got one of your caps at home. It's a very nice cap. It's a leading national non-profit organisation, and it works alongside 50 Indigenous partners to support, strengthen and amplify Indigenous land and sea management across Australia. It's led by a majority Indigenous board. Country Needs People works to ensure our Indigenous Ranger program and Indigenous protected areas are secured into the future. And if you get the chance, rangers across the country do the most amazing work. They're using drones and all sorts of other technologies to map and to manage land. So I'm very excited that Patrick O'Leary, the Chief Executive, of Country Needs People and Leanne Brooke are here today to welcome us. So thank you very much. And I welcome both Patrick and Leanne to tell you a little bit more about Country Needs People, and I look forward to you being able to offer them some dollars to keep their charity moving. So thank you very much. Thank you particularly to the choirs, you were fabulous, and I look forward to hearing some more from you later on.
Thanks everybody, and firstly I'd like to acknowledge both the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people who have an unbroken connection to the lands that we're working on today. My name's Patrick O'Leary, I'm the CEO of Country Needs People. We're a national non-profit, we're Indigenous majority governed, and we work with Indigenous ranges and Indigenous protected areas Australia-wide. With me today is Leanne Brooke, the CEO of the Ulladulla Land Council up from the coast, who will tell you her story about their ongoing efforts to look after country. I might hand over to Leanne quickly now and then come back to finish off, but I do want to thank the Parliament, particularly the Speaker and the President of the Senate. I know the President's got a long-standing interest in Indigenous affairs and caring for country, so we do appreciate that, but I might hand over to Leanne now to talk, so she can talk a little bit about their work caring for country.
Thank you, and Wallawani. My name is Leanne Brooke, and I'm a proud Murrumbidgee woman from the coast. Born and bred in Ulladulla, my family's always been there since the first sunrise. Thank you to the choir, that was such an amazing and warm welcome to come into. Look, the Land Council system's quite a under-resourced organisation. We often run on an oily rag with a handful of full-time staff. I've been there for 2.5 years. And since the beginning of the Land Council, there's always been caring for country activities happening, as well as all the other core business and activities that Land Councils do with land claims. Our team at the moment, we have one full-time ranger and a pool of casuals that work really hard on country, doing activities such as flora and fauna surveys, caring for our threatened species, caring for our totemic species, water health, cultural values mapping. As mentioned, you know, there's a lot of push for GIS mapping and for Aboriginal land councils and groups to be able to map their own country so they have a good understanding of how to care for that country and utilise and activate land. So in the past, what we've had to do is rely on short-term funding to do all of those activities that we want to do on country. And unfortunately, that means that once that funding runs out, we're not able to offer our casual staff that we put all this time and skills into to do this work. We can't offer them any job security. So they come and go, and then we're looking at then bringing in more casuals, training them up to be able to do this work. And unfortunately, they go off and hopefully find other work, but sometimes they don't. And we've just been successful, as mentioned, to be one of the successful applicants for the NIAA Rangers funding, so the federal funding, which will allow us to continually do the work that we've been doing and bring our staff back in to continue to do that really good work. It's really important work, and as I mentioned, land councils are really under-resourced, and applying for grants constantly is very time-consuming, as you can imagine. So when the grants round opened this time, I was like, I need some help to get this grant application in. And I reached out to Country Needs People, and immediately they came and sat with me and knew how invested we were and ready to go, and saw the value in supporting us, and they stepped in and really helped us get our application over the line. So thank you so much to Country Needs People. They do amazing work, and they're supporting, like I said, they're supporting so many Indigenous organisations across the country, and we're just one lucky one to be able to work with them and be supported by them. So thank you so much.
I won't say too much more because time is tight. The federal government is doubling Indigenous rangers between now and 2030. That is an incredibly important policy and a really positive thing for Australia. We've been pleased to advocate alongside our partners to see that happen. It's fantastic. That's been 10 years in the making. We're starting to see the rollout. Ulladulla's benefiting from it, as are many others around the country today. It has support across the party structures, so we're quite happy to take support from all sides of politics. We would say that this is a quiet revolution that people can support all around the country. We're grateful for the support. Let's make sure that our federal government then rebuilds our capacity to support these groups on the ground to see their success into the future. Thanks to everyone, thanks to the choir, and thanks to the Parliament for supporting us.
And just as the President said, we're seeing the building in action, and the President's had to quickly go back to the Senate chamber, but hopefully she'll be back with us very soon. So thank you to the President, thank you to Mr O'Leary and Ms Brooke for those words, and thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing in championing Indigenous land sea management across Australia. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome the Honourable Milton Dick MP, Speaker for the House of Representatives, to address you. Mr Speaker.
Thank you, Charla. And look, one thing about the bells here, they're green and red. I mean, I'd like to say we especially did that for Christmas, but I'm going to make sure that everyone knows that I love Christmas, because here at Parliament House, everyone works so hard in looking after our democracy, and we're so lucky to have the privilege of working here at Parliament House. And today, Parliament is meeting on the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people's land, and we recognise the custodianship for over 60,000 years, and I extend that welcome and acknowledgement to any First Nations people that are here today. Well, you can see it really is Christmas with this massive tree behind me, and the Christmas tree is also about giving. It's a giving tree. And Christmas, as we all know, is the perfect opportunity for the community to get behind some great causes. And we've just heard the great work that is happening by one charity and one organisation, that serves and looks after so many people. But since we began this giving tree in 2013, the tree behind me and the ones before it have raised around $40,000 for charities across Australia in support of really many different causes. Some of the causes supported over the years include domestic and family violence, disaster relief, food security, and First Nations career development. And it's not just about the money, it's also about, as we heard, raising awareness about the incredible work these organisations do across Australia and right here in Parliament House. So we've tried to make it as easy as possible for people to make a donation with QR codes and opportunities across our networks and our businesses, and including the Queen's Terrace Cafe and the Parliament House gift shop. So your contributions over the next couple of weeks will help make meaningful differences in many people's lives, building a sustainable environment as well. Now I have the great honour to announce the second Giving Tree charity we are supporting this year. And this year it is Landcare Australia. And for over 35 years, Landcare Australia has worked in the forefront of the community and corporate engagement, environmental conservation, sustainable land management, with activities that protect and conserve Australia's land, water, soils, plants, animals and ecosystems. And as we all know, with the impact of a changing climate, biodiversity loss and natural disasters, and some in far north Australia and also in my home state of Queensland, I want to say the work of Landcare has never been more important. So I'd like to invite Doug Human up, the Chairman of Landcare Australia, to teach us all a bit more about the great work that happens with Landcare, and to hear about your amazing organisation and how people should support you and continue the great work of Landcare. Let's hear it for Doug.
Thank you, Speaker, and Senator, and Jada, representing the Parliamentary Services community and all the people who've assisted to put this together. And to the choir, just a beautiful start. Thank you so much. I too extend my acknowledgement of traditional owners of country here upon where we meet and Aboriginal people present with us today. And that is a good lead-in to the Landcare story, for Australia's first peoples have been our first land carers. And as history goes on and Landcare Australia is formed, and the Landcare Australia community and the Landcare community across Australia builds, we are refreshing and invigorating our links and engagement with Aboriginal people, connecting traditional knowledge with Western science to do the very things that the speaker spoke of. So that came about in the mid-1980s when the conservation and the farming communities joined hands to agree on the things that they both agreed on and to advance a better standard of appreciation and care for our natural environment. That started in Victoria in the 1980s, but in 1989 it was Prime Minister Bob Hawke who initiated the Decade of Landcare and also initiated our organisation, which, as the speaker intimated, has become one of the most enduring parts of the Australian social fabric, and particularly throughout the Australian community, whether it's urban, peri-urban, rural or remote. I'd be astonished if there were fewer than half this audience that knows of a Landcare group in their community or indeed works with one, and I thank you for that. And what the Landcare community does across Australia is work with all those communities I've described, but in particular seeks to advance sustainable agriculture through our Landcare Agriculture and Landcare Carbon Smart programs, acknowledging, again as the speaker said, that we suffer a whole range of activities which are jeopardising our future, our biodiversity, our climate and our relationships with our first land carers. In the face of that, what your support of Landcare Australia will do today and every day is to build the resilience of local communities, build the resilience of our climate and build the resilience of our natural environments. And this we see benefit for not only all those communities that I've described, but also for individuals. Landcare is arguably the widest and deepest community-based activity throughout Australia. And we at Landcare Australia seek, through gifts like you may give to us today, to enhance activities of those small groups in all the different environments in which they work. One of the key parts of Landcare is junior Landcare. And I love it when my grandkids put on their red Landcare, junior Landcare shirts, their red junior Landcare caps and get out with me planting trees, building fences, putting up nest boxes, handling, if you get the opportunity, a really small critter, and speaking with our first custodians about what it looks like for them to work on country, manage country, and give the appropriate respect to country that First Nations people have given us for generations. Funds raised here will go to the ACT to do the very things I've just described. So, as we enter the festive season, events like this remind us of what Australians do best, which is coming together, supporting each other, contributing to something larger than ourselves. On behalf of Landcare Australia, thank you for choosing to support our work, for recognising the efforts of thousands of volunteers, giving time, energy and passion. To all members of Parliament, senators, staff and everyone joining us here today, we wish you and your families a safe and happy Christmas. It seems really early in the year to be saying that. Thank you for supporting the three groups, and I particularly want to acknowledge Paddy's group and the work that you're doing, Leanne. It's a wonderful organisation. I've been on them since they started, and both these organisations absolutely deserve your support. I know you'll give it. Have a safe and happy Christmas, particularly you guys. Happy Christmas.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Human, for those words and the work that you do in empowering communities to safeguard Australia's national environment. Right, let's light this tree. Could I now ask our official party to take their places? So, I think we will come around the button.
We'll need our little helpers. Where are Stella and Grace? We've got a big job to do with these guys helping the President and I. President, are you okay if I do a countdown? I'll just come over here. Stella and Grace, you know what to do? We're going to, on the count of, not yet, we're going to do a countdown of 5, and then I need everyone here to say Merry Christmas when the tree lights up, okay? So we're ready to light the tree? I need a bit louder. Are we ready to light the tree? Now we're talking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey. Thank you, Stella and Grace. Great job. Thank you, President.
Now, just like to invite the media to take photos of the presiding officers with our charity representatives in front of the giving tree. And if members of the audience, if you could just stay seated for a few minutes, the choir will sing to us again in a moment, and please enjoy your time here with us this morning. Thank you, everyone. To sing to us and enjoy your day. Thank you, everyone.
You ready? How we going, guys? Hold those folders up. Big voices, sing out, okay? Galvin. Part 1, part 2, yeah?